Here at Studio 5, you could say we are big fans of a furniture flip, and we're seeing a renewed interest in making those old pieces look like new. Well, today we zero in on an extra step to give you a look that's truly eye-catching. It's a detail that adds dimension and interest, a detail so small you might not even notice it until you do. DIYer Sarah Merrell is here to show us how to make your own resin decals. I mean, you're amazing. Let's just set the table with that.
Oh, no.
And the fact that you're zoning in on not just great, great furniture pieces that we're giving great new life and awesome color, but this detail is really stand out. It's stunning.
Thank you. Yeah, I love it.
You're a fan.
One of my favorite things to do.
You're a fan of the decal. On what piece does a decal belong, or when would you recommend reaching for this?
Honestly, any piece that you want to give a little bit of dimension to.
Okay.
I've done it on record players. I've done it on entertainment centers. I've done it on dressers a lot.
Yeah.
And it really just adds like that depth and a little bit of texture that, I mean, we're seeing a lot like at Anthropology. You're seeing at a lot of different high-end stores. So
I was just going
to say. I wanted to dupe it.
Let's dupe the high-end. You do that so well. And that is the detail that sets it apart, right? From a regular piece of furniture to an Anthropology type piece. So dimension, texture, also personality.
Yeah.
There's a fun way to give some personality to these pieces. So we're talking about, if people don't know, resin decals, something you add to the furniture piece itself.
Yes.
And you can make these?
Yes, so easily. So I just get this at Hobby Lobby. You can also get it on Amazon, but it's about 20 bucks. And it's just a 1-to-1 part ratio resin mold. So basically, you just take part A and part B, measure it in equal parts, dump it into another container. You can get a bigger one if you need to. Sometimes I'll use Dixie cups.
Do you feel like a scientist when you're doing
this?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
You're
goggles.
Like, where's my lab
on?
Yeah.
Zip that up. And then you just mix it up and then make sure it turns clear, and then you just dump it in so easily.
Like you've done here.
And then you just pop it out after 10 minutes. You can literally watch it turn white, harden, and then you pop it out. And
I'm sorry, 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
I thought you were going to say we'd have to garner all the DIY patience in the world and let it sit for a week.
No.
10 minutes.
Some resin is like that, where you need like a 24-hour cure time, but not this one.
And the molds, where are you finding the molds?
So I get a lot of my molds on Amazon.
Okay.
You can also make your own molds if you have certain things like flowers or whatever. You can. That's a whole different process. Story for another day.
Okay.
But you can get these on Amazon, and they're super easy, and they're not super expensive. I think I paid $15 or $20 for each, and they last forever. You can keep doing these, adding them, and I add these to mirrors too, not just furniture.
Oh.
So they add a little fun element to the.
I actually think that the camera is picking up the detail quite well, but that is amazing to see all of the texture. You were right, texture and detail that comes out of that little humble $15 mold. That's amazing. We're seeing flowers here. Are there other designs?
There are. I mean, there's a lot of flowers. There's a lot of like greenery textures, but you can get all kinds of different textures. But I usually just go for the flowers because that's what I'm seeing that I like.
So would this lend itself then to a more traditional piece, or is there a way that the modern home decorator can use this application too, like lines, geometrics, or is it more?
There probably is some out there, but a lot of times the geometric shapes you'll kind of want to go for wood.
Sure.
Where it's easy to just cut. These are more just for like the intricate detailed pieces.
Okay, we've got this dresser in studio. I know we have a picture of what it looked like before. Can we start there? Let's pop up that picture.
Yeah.
You gave it new life. You saw potential.
I did.
In this humble little guy. Where did you find it?
Facebook Marketplace. I think I got it for 20 bucks. I mean, it was in rough condition.
Okay.
So, I had to sand it down, add a primer, add the resins. But yeah, I love how it turned out. I really was sold when I saw the knobs on this because they're kind of unique, kind of fun, kind of funky. Didn't know how they were going to mix with the floral decals, but I love it. I think I like it.
Beautiful. It's something I would shop and buy on Anthropology.com for sure. Yeah. And you're right, those knobs, being able to keep the original knobs is a treat, right?
Yes.
Normally you're swapping them out.
Usually I'm swapping them out, but when I find them that I love, I just, you can update it with rub and buff, make sure it's, you can bring it back to life.
How do you attach, so once you've primed and painted, how do you attach the decal to the dresser?
So I use a construction adhesive. You can also use E6000 glue, but it's not going to give you. You can also use like a brad nailer if you want to get into the power tools.
Okay.
And
we do.
I mean, obviously.
Switch out our lab coat for our power tool glasses.
Yes, I'm all about that. But I just use construction adhesive, and it's super easy. You just squirt it on there, pop it on, and it's pretty sturdy on there.
And how are you painting these? How are you getting that completely covered? It looks very smooth finish.
So yeah, with these it would be a little bit harder to do it. You could do it with like a paintbrush where you just kind of push it on, dab it on. But I use my paint sprayer. I love my paint sprayer. So that's what I
obviously paint before you put it on.
I put it on and then paint.
Oh, and then you paint. I'm glad I'm
So
asking
then it
these
gets all
details.
in the, and then I touch it up with a paintbrush or around
Okay.
the edges, detail brushes, but.
And where we're seeing it with a more dramatic color, I think this green blue is just gorgeous. Does
It's
it
fun.
give a different effect if you're in the more white zone or the more neutral
Yeah,
color?
I love it. And before I painted it, I did my white primer, and I loved the color. I was like, oh, maybe I should just stick with the white, but I had to go for the dark.
No, it's
Because
beautiful.
I've done ones that are white, and they're super pretty, and that's a lot of what Anthropologie sells. It's like the white with the floral,
Sure.
so it's simple and elegant. So
So it kind of gives you two different looks. I mean,
Right.
the elegance comes from those more neutral pieces like that. That's amazing. And the drama comes, the personality
Yes,
comes
yes.
from the more deeper colors. And you mentioned mirrors. How does it work with mirrors?
So mirrors, it's pretty similar. I mean, usually I'll do some kind of detail on the sides that aren't necessarily the resin appliques, and then I'll glue them to the tops, to the sides. I do that on my Anthropologie dupe mirrors. And so I actually sell those ones, and then you can get other ones online.
You sell mirrors just like this.
I do.
We don't have to pay the Anthro price tag. We can pay the
No.
Sarah price tag,
Yes.
which is worth every
Yes.
penny. You're so good at what you do.
Oh my gosh,
And
you're
more
so
than
good.
that, and maybe not more than that because your talent's off the charts, but I love that you're sharing what you're learning along the
Yes,
way. I love a girl
yes.
that gives and gushes, and you do that.
Yes,
So
everyone can do this.
how can we follow
say that.
along and learn from you?
Instagram, Sarah Flips It. I'm sure tips, tricks, DIY, dupes, I'm all about that.
Sarah Flips It. If you aren't following her already, you should be, and you'll get the
Yes.
inspiration you need to pick up a resin decal and also a spring flipping project. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
you
Great to
bet.
see you.